we've probably done about 2 billion in sales.
2 billion in sales.
Yeah.
Like,
we had a deal over in Indy. The appraisal was Thursday, and Friday they found a body in the dumpster.
okay, come on, what was the commission? What was the commission?
I think it was a $60 million deal and probably a point on that, a 1% fee. So 600,000 or so.
I'll take that. So Stash, like you've been in the game for quite some time now. I remember when we first met. Like how much have you sold in your career now?
Yeah, so my team and I, we've probably done about 2 billion in sales.
2 billion in sales.
Yeah.
Like, what are you? First of all, what are you selling, and how did you get there?
Yeah, so we specialize in multifamily investment properties. You know, that's how you and I first met.
That's right. That's
cold
right.
called you like a cold call all my friends.
You were on, like, man, that was so crazy because like, I knew you were like the up and coming guy, man. Because everybody, like Stash just popped into town. The next thing you know, everybody knows him because he's like cold calling everybody.
Yeah, I was relentless. You kind of have to be as a broker because it's like, you know, especially breaking into a new market like I was doing. Like I didn't know anybody. I had no contacts, no connections, and just brute force said, "This is what I'm going to do."
Wait a minute, you didn't know anybody.
No.
You came to Cincinnati, right?
Yeah,
Where'd you come from?
So I was in Southern California at the time,
That's right,
and it
that's
was
right.
you know 2000. I got here in 2011, and you know things still hadn't unfrozen yet, and I'd done some syndication deals with partners there in Southern California, and
Right.
you know moderately successful, and I was going to try and replicate that same thing here. Came here for a deal, had it under contract, and then it just kind of blew up, and I was like, well, what am I going to do? And I just picked up the phone and started cold calling again. So
Man, that was the ground. Like you were just doing the thing because everybody was so used to just doing some basic marketing, but like you were, the cold calling was the thing. You just went back to the old school.
Yeah.
And then crushed it.
Yeah.
And now you did over 2 billion in sales.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the harder you work, the luckier you get. I've got a sign over there that says that, and that's what I found it to be true. It's like Fridays at 4 o'clock, I've gotten some of the best leads or just opportunities, and it's just like, man, it's awesome. Whereas everybody else is out.
Now you only sell multifamilies?
So we specialize in multifamily investment properties and development sites for multifamily.
Oh, so you're getting in developments now, or you've been doing development?
Yeah, so we sold a dead shopping center over in, you know, on the east side of town. And that was our first like entree into development sites. And, you know, I really liked that aspect of it. I saw it as an avenue to get into bigger, better projects. And so, you know, we sold that site and now they're putting 360 Class A apartments on it.
What are rates doing to the market now?
So rates are causing prices to decrease, you know, because there's a relationship.
Really? Do you really think that? Like I get it. Like we learned this at CCI. It was one of the first things we learned. When interest rates increase, values decrease. When interest rates decrease, values increase, right? Did I say that right? Did I get it mixed up?
Yeah, it's an inverse relationship.
But with the interest rates increasing, people been holding on to pricing, haven't they?
Sure. Well, I mean, that's a function of like the debt markets because the agencies, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they have, you know, they'll issue 10-year debt, right? So it's like, if you're a long-term holder, you don't really care what the prices are. You don't really care as long as you have a fixed rate, that is. You don't care if rates are going up or down because you have a consistent monthly payment for 10 years or 12 years.
Man, talking about interest rates and spread makes me hungry. Man, why don't we chop it up and grab something to eat and then talk about it some more, man?
Yeah, it sounds great.
If you had to do it all over again, would you do the brokerage or would you focus more on investing in real estate and buying? Or what would you do differently, I guess?
I'd probably invest more in deals coming up and you know, just try and really identify those groups that are going to be growing and then try and grow with them. Kind of like what we've done with you and our partners.
Now, what do you say? It's kind of crazy, man, because you know, brokers, because I experienced it as a realtor, but they try to hate on the realtors. Like they try to cut you out of the deal at times. Like, have you experienced that?
Well, so I had a rude awakening when I first got started. I had been talking to the largest owner here in town, and I saw somebody else's listing, and I sent it to him. And he's like, hey, I appreciate you thinking of me for this, but I don't need you sending me other people's deals because I get them already. And what I've discovered in my own brokerage practice is that the buy side broker just tends to be another link in the chain of playing telephone versus actually adding a ton of value. I'm not saying that they don't, but in my experience, a buyer broker is just getting in the way.
Cool, man. Let's head back to the office, man. Let's wrap this up. Yo, man, I'm gonna knock this putting out, bro. You ain't got none of this golfing skill. Do you golf or putt? What do you do, bro?
I can swing a club, but I wouldn't call myself a golfer yet.
Oh yeah, I really hit that one. So look, man, why brokerage? Like, why did you get into brokerage? There's so many different ways to get into real estate. Why would one want to be a broker?
Well, I mean, honestly, I feel like I was generally unemployable otherwise, but you know, brokerage offers freedom. You know, you get to set your own schedule. Like I said before, you know, nobody.
Man, forget that, bro. What the money look like, man? I mean, come on, man. Tell me the real deal. Like, you about to give me some soft answers. I want the truth, man.
We make a good living. You know, we make a good living, and we set our own hours, and you know, get to fly to places, have, you know, dinners with clients and take them on, you know, fun excursions when you close deals, and, you know, you get to make some great friendships like this.
So we shared about why brokerage, you did $1 billion, but is the brokerage worth it? Like, yes, this is fulfilling,
Yeah.
but what was your biggest payday, man?
I think the biggest deal that we've done was a 600 unit where we sold it once after the guy had owned it for like a year. And then we sold it again about 18 months later for 20% more than what he bought it for.
Okay, come on. What was the commission, man? What was the commission?
I think it was a $60 million deal and probably a point on that, a 1% fee. So 600,000 or so.
I'll take that. I'll never forget, man, my first $500,000 and $1 million payday, man. Like, I just remember. I still got a picture of the deposit, man.
Yeah, that's great.
Like, that's so amazing. So
we get direct deposits now, so you lose the luster of the check.
Yeah.
You know.
But look, man, so we talk about all the high life.
Yeah.
But tell me about the struggle, man. Like, how'd you go from A to point B to point C? Because, like, you weren't always doing $1 billion worth of real estate.
No, I mean,
right?
when you and I first met, it was like whatever I could get my hands on. But, you know, I think it's consistency and showing up every day, showing up every single day and grinding every day. Like, I had some basic metrics, 10 conversations a day that I adhered to for years. And if I could...
So how many conversations would you have a day?
10. I shoot for 10 conversations.
And what are you hoping to accomplish in those 10 conversations?
Well, so it has to be 10 meaningful conversations. And so it's like, you know, you want to be calling sellers to see if they're interested in selling, or setting up appointments to go and meet with them to talk about prospective sale opportunities. You also want to be talking with those same people about if they're buyers and what they're buying, what are their acquisition criteria. And then if you're working deals, like if you're working deals and you're talking to the same people 2, 3, 4 times a day, well, you only get to count one of those conversations.
Okay.
But you know, having things like that 10 conversations a day, 50 conversations a week, doesn't matter if you make 15 calls or if you make 150 calls. You have to hit that. And if you do that, you can go home with your head held high. We had a deal over in Indy where I think the appraisal was Thursday, and Friday they found a body in the dumpster. And you know, the person didn't live there, so, you know, I think we were able to skirt that, but, you know, it's not a fun thing, you know, and we've had...
That killed the sale, I guess.
Yeah, for some reason that deal died, and then I...
Literally.
But I did end up selling it, and then, like, it closed on a Thursday or Friday, and then, like, Friday night, there was, like, a gang fight there. And the sellers were toasting to being rid of it, and the buyers were like, "Oh my God!"
Man, that reminds me, Lincoln Heights, right? You know Lincoln Heights.
Yeah.
That's where I started at.
Yeah.
Because Lincoln Heights, you will say that part of Lincoln Heights is a D class, right?
Yeah.
Maybe F at times. But it's crazy because everybody, if you're from Lincoln Heights, people want to stay near there.
Yeah.
Right? But I'll never forget, somebody got shot or ran over right in front of our house. And then me and Nate and Jim are panicking like, oh my gosh, we'll never rent this house. And then we get a call that same day like, yo, you own this house right here? It was like, yeah. Well, we want to rent it. We was like, do you know what just happened here? Oh, yeah. Man.
I mean, we had another one where we had our call for offers, and then we were in best and final, and somebody, I think there was a shooting there the night before, and somebody died, and we called the buyers, and they actually ended up upping their offer. They're like, we can fix it.
I guess you need to let people die. See, drama sells. I keep telling people, the more drama you got going on, the better the sale, bro.
Yeah, so that was one where the elevators had gone down, and it was just it was a mess, but we got it done.
So, like, what would you share with somebody now trying to get started, whether they want to be a realtor, broker, convert to commercial, like that new person, woman, female, doesn't matter where they're from. What are you telling them if they want to become a broker?
Well, I think, you know, you have to be a sponge in your first years. And even now, it's like I'm still learning new things, you know, almost every day. But, you know, don't approach it like I know everything. You know, make sure that you're a student of the game, so to speak, because that's what it is. And so try and absorb everything, and then, you know, find some people that are going to, you know, help you along, and make sure that you're, you know, heeding their advice. And, you know, nobody's going to do it for you, though. You can't expect somebody else to go out and build a practice for you, unless your dad owns 10,000 units and is always buying and selling deals.
I need a dad that has 10,000 units.
Right.
I just need a dad that got $10. Sorry, I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry. Well, look, man, we got a break, man. It's great seeing you, brother.
Thanks for coming.
I appreciate you, man. Talk to you soon, man.
All right.